the attendance in such a fashion that they are supposed to uh, text me over a chat box given over here, their USN or the name. Go with the USN only so that it will consider as your attendance. Don't give the any kind of proxy, it will be easily identified. Okay, and there is corrective actions will be taken. So I think we have started the syllabus. We have said what is the importance of this. So I'll start directly sharing my screen so that we can directly move for our topic of discussion. Can anybody? Yeah, is it visible? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. So here, I think I've told about what we people are going to see in this the complete syllabus. Why automata theory and computability is very important in the computer science and engineering in the previous class. Okay, and I discussed what all things we are going to learn in the whole semester under the course ATC 18CS 54. I think I discussed about how the evaluation is going to be done in this. Uh, what is the study of the automata theory? Why it is required? See, frankly speaking, it is one of the subject where which you require to get the basic knowledge of all the subjects that you will be using in the computer science. When you start writing the program to design to develop a particular application, you require this subject. That's what it's a direct application to creating compilers.
Excuse me, sir.
Please.
Sir, there's so much disturbance in the background. We cannot hear.
What kind of disturbance, better?
Sir, somebody is talking in the background.
Okay, just give me a couple of minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, students, I hope it is a little bit better than the previous one. Yeah. So here we have seen how this is been applied for the compilers, programming language, designing application. If we not understand this, anyways, give a specific some time to understand the subject. At that time, after some time, you will understand the importance of this subject. The questions why it is been asked automata theory and computability. So we should understand what can be computed and what cannot be computed and the line between these two. The answer for this is nothing but your automata theory and computability. When we say a language is finite and infinite, so is there any solution provided for the infinite languages? That is the thing. Because for finite, we are able to understand these are the particular ways can understand, but infinite. So how to process for the infinite languages? That we are going to see here. The computational model. I think we are going to start with the computational model. Till last class, we have discussed about certain introduction about this automata theory and computability. So, what is the computational model? Actually, it is nothing but a mathematical model that is gonna define on the paper actually, which enables us to reason about computation and to study the properties and limitation of the computing. Actually, when we are asked to design any of the model such as your I'll take an example of an elevator. Okay, let's take an elevator. What elevator does? Elevator is simply there will be certain buttons in the elevator lift. Okay, you need to put you need to just press a button of the on the floor which you have to go, and elevator simply moves up or down. Okay, this is what the complete uh, I can say the processor of the elevators. So how it happens? If I press one, how it understand this is the first floor, this is second floor. Why it is not stopping in between these two floors? Why exactly how it is going to stop at that floors respective floor? So before get into implementation, there is a logic required that has to be implemented on the paper. There should be a model first. Okay, this is how the subject you are already aware of कि कोई if in a civil if they want to design a building, they are coming up with the first model, small model, small building, small kind of roads. They, here it will be a road, here it will be a building, this is the area for garden space and other things, swimming pool and small model, so that by seeing that they will be creating the whole structure. In the computer science, that you can consider about the automata theory and computability. Okay, computational model has to be designed, and it is not only the computer science. When you deal with the electronics also, you need to design models first. Okay, here basically there are the three principal computational model which is based on their computational power. Now you may say, what is the computational power? Okay, basically the power. So power मतलब क्या कहेंगे आप? Can anybody explain me about the power? Means in the kinds of I'll come up with the computational power. Just tell me what is my power, please. Yeah, anybody about the power? Okay, fine. Power is nothing but, so I'll tell you in one way. If I know only one language which I can understand, I can speak, and there is another student, I'm taking based on the languages, okay? There is another person who knows to understand and speak two languages. If there is another person, C person, ABC, he knows three languages. So among three of us, ABC, who is most powerful? Obviously, definitely you people will say the third one, sir, C person, because in respect with the understanding of the language, Mr. C has knowledge about three languages. His power is more. So we will be discussing about the computational power of every model. So every model when we discuss, it should be compared with their computational power. In these three principal models of computation, we'll be discussing about computation model. These are your finite automata, automation. In short, we used to call it as FA, finite automata. In throughout, I'll be calling it as FA. There are the different flavors for this FA, NFA, DFA, how they are differ. NDFA we'll be discussing as the syllabus proceeds. Stack automation recognizes as a context-free languages. Okay. Now, what actually the finite automata? It recognizes regular languages. This is one language, as I have given them one example. Okay, it recognizes regular language. Stack automation is also called as a push down automata, PDA. It recognizes context-free language. It is a different language. Then third and very important and very powerful model is Turing machine. In short, I used to call it as TM. It recognizes computable languages, which is come as a recursive immutable languages, recursive languages. Okay, we'll be discussing about some CSL context sensitive languages in this. So this is nothing but a Turing machine. It is one of the very important model. Nothing but actually whatever computer you are working on, that is your Turing machine. Okay, so we'll be discussing finite automata. Stack automation is nothing but your push down automata and Turing machine. So let me, instead of going into the depth or basics, let me tell you first what is this automata, what is this machine, what we will be doing throughout this semester with the subject. I'll take you one example without knowing about anything. One by one, I'll explain all the concept. So we are starting with the deterministic finite automata. Don't worry about the deterministic for time being. Skip that one. Only keep on concentrating on finite automata. Okay. Now let me take you to one example. I hope this is being visible to everybody. There will be certain circles. So how many circles are there? There are four circles. Then there are the certain black color arrows. Below to that there is written certain things. It looks like a graph, isn't it? It looks like a graph. What this graphs is all about? This graph is your automata, a state machine. I must say. How it happens? What all things? Now, what you are saying over this, these are the called as the transitions. Okay, these are called as the transition. Okay, now you might have already studied in your graph theory. See, you people used to call it as a weight. Here, the the value what is on there, the transition from says Q0 to Q1. Okay, so this is called as a weight. We will be calling it as a transition over some some value. What is that? I'll explain in the further part. So what happens in the throughout this thing? What we'll be doing? Let us assume I have one string. I have one string. The string is 0 1 1 1. Okay. Now this is a state of this machine where it starts. The processing starts from, because there should be a entry point. Okay. This is an input. That input should come and there should be some entry point. So let us assume this is my entry point. Okay, here it comes. Now these are called as a transition. There are only possible. So now if you have observed, every, if I call this as a state, every state has a transition over 0 and 1. Let us assume here 0 1, here 0 and 1 both are going on one transition. Here one transition is itself to itself and another transition it goes to another state. Okay, so this is how the every state has to transition over 0 and 1. And my string, this is input string. Okay, it is also combination of zeros and ones. For time being, I'm damn sure you will not understand this, but this is required to understand what all those terminologies. What I'm explaining now, it will be coming in the this class only, which will help you to understand the concept. Now this string, we are giving it for this. Now what is gonna happen? Where is a zero transition? Because it reads the first string, first character. In 0 triple 1, what is the first character? It is the zeroth character. Okay. Now I want you people to unmute things, and what I'll be asking, I want you people to get involved in that. Now it reads the string from left to right, from left to right. So what is the first character over here? It is
0.
it is 0. And what happens at the 0 when it coming at this particular state? Let me name it as a q0, q1, q2, q3. Okay, so what it starts processing, this state is going to start processing the first character which we will be reading from left to right, that is 0. So what it happens, it is coming to itself, right? We have successfully read the character 0 and we have come to itself because there was a transition from q0 to q0 over 0. Now tell me, what is the next character that has to be read?
One.
1. Very good. Now is there any transition from this state over 1 to some other state or itself?
Other state.
Yeah, that is q1. Let us assume, yeah, this is q1. So over 1 it is going to q1. Okay, now if you are able to see that 1 has been read and it is not in a part of existing string. Now again, it is left with only 1. The next character that has to be read is again 1. So here it goes and only 1 is left out. Now it is also going to be to itself. Now, are we done with the program? Means we have successfully read all the strings. Yes, this is how actually your any machine I'm saying, let it start from the elevators, let it starts with your fan, let it starts with your आपका switch होते हैं ना, start off on and off वाले two-way switch, it works the same way. You may say how? I'll explain everything, don't worry. Okay, everything works like this. Here the input what I have given, it is nothing but the button that you are pressing, that is the input. And this state जो आपका यहाँ से है, from one state to another state it moves, it is nothing but the number of floors, first floor, second floor, third floor. These are the different states. If you are on ground floor, ground is your state. If you are moving to the first floor, that is your state. You will be at the first floor. If you are moving to the second floor, that will be your updated states. Okay, so we have to convert a real life problem into this, and we have to design first these automata so that once you design, it will be easy to come up and get the solution about the model that you're gonna design. Okay, now here one line I have written, the machine accepts a string if the it reaches to the final state which a double circle. Now you might say, sir, there is no final state or there is no double circle. Actually this q1 and q2 are the double circle. I was doing certain things, it is not having a double circle. These are called as the final state. I'll come to that point. Now what this machine is explained, q0, q1, q2, q3 are called as the states. q0, q1, q2, q3 are states. States are generally represented with circle. Okay class, states are generally represented with the circle. Then the transition from one state to another state, what is it, what do you mean by transition? Transition means moving from one place to another, that is what the transition. Now if you are able to see these arrows, what I've said, these arrows, okay, from q0 to q1 it is connecting. So these are termed as transitions from q0 to q1, as well as there is one transition from q0 to itself looping back, it is loop back. Okay, so it is also one of the transition. The arrows are used to explain about the transition. Now, and this is what over zero mean, for time being you say it as a weight in a graph theory. Here also you go ahead with that. Once we'll start with the concept of alphabets, I'll let you know that. These are the states, these are the transition. Now the states which has input this arrow, okay, which does not have anything, it is called as a start state, or we'll be calling as initial state. A state which has an input transition on which there is nothing written on the transition. that is called as a start state or initial state. I used to call it as initial state. Generally, it is to be represented with the Q0. It is not mandatory. It is just a symbol we are representing. So always I used to represent initial state or start state as a Q0. Okay, so that when any input string I need to process, I should, because I have these different four states. So from at what state I need to start, I should have the knowledge. So that's why I should always start with the initial state or start state. The states generally it is it is shown with a double circle, just like a single circle. There should be a double circle. I couldn't do that, so I'm simply representing the different state. So these are called as a final state. The states which has a double circle. Generally, states are represented with the single circle. The states which are represented with a double circle are termed as a final state. People used to call it as accept states. So final state. That's why in bracket I have written F. Okay, and these are called as a transitions. If after processing the string, because it starts from the initial state, we start the processing. If any string reaches to the final state, that string is termed as accepted string. That string is considered as accepted string. Okay, so in some time we should uh, understand what is accepted string, rejected string, one by one. What is a string? I'll come to that part. So this is a basic knowledge about the states machine. These are the states. In the states we should understand two important terminology: initial state, like the start state, and the final state, and the transitions. Yeah, guys, if you have doubts please ask me, because now I'll start with the central concept of automata theory. Officially we are starting the syllabus now. Please, if you have any queries, please ask me. Okay, I think there is no query. I'll proceed now. Please class, even if you did not understand any of the things till today's class, till at this moment, we are starting the syllabus now. Say, I have already told you, to communicate with one person to another, we need one medium. We need one medium. In another word, we used to say, yeah, we required a language to explain, to understand the thought, feelings, and other things. In the same way, when these two machine, because the hardware also need to communicate in one or the other way, maybe the electric signals, maybe certain different stimulators kind of things. Okay, it requires certain medium to understand. This is nothing but a language. In C programming is language, C++ is a language, Java, lot of different languages. Here also we are going to design language, not design, we are understanding the language, because we are going to make three different models. Which are them? These are, which we have already explained here, about three very important computational model. That is your finite automata, stack automation is push down automata, and last is Turing machine, which represents a computational language. Now, if you are able to see, these are the three different languages. Finite automata takes regular language, stack automation will push down automata, takes context-free language, and Turing machine takes the computable languages. Now, to understand these three different languages, we should understand what is a language, how a language has to be taught in the first class or nursery when you are being admitted. I think everybody recalls those days. They will say, "Sir, we have asked to start with the ABCD, if it in English." Am I right? Those are termed as alphabets, right? Here also, we are going to start with the alphabet, because we are understanding a language. Throughout this semester will be till fourth module we'll be discussing about the language. Fifth model थोड़ा सा different हो जाता है. Anyways, we'll be seeing that. Okay. So what is an alphabet generally? It is a finite set of symbols. Why it is a finite set of symbols? When you deal with English, A to Z, 26 character. If you deals with the Marathi language, maybe avocado or AI kind of things. In the same way, Hindi, Kannada, Bengali, Tamil, Malayalam, these are having a set of alphabets and all are finite. None of the language has an infinite set of symbols in their alphabets. Okay, it is a finite set of symbols. Okay, it is a symbol. Now let me take an example. If I want to create my language in different way, so here I am considering an example. Generally, the alphabets are represented with this symbol. In mathematics, what you used to call this as summation, right? So we used to consider this as and symbol to represent the alphabets. Now, I have a ABCD. My language will have only ABCD. I don't have ABCD till Z. My language will have only four symbols which are representing the alphabet. Okay, so these are the symbols. Maybe the other is if I can have a 0 1 2 or I can represent 0 1 2 3 2 5. That is also alphabets. Now let me come up with the another part. What I do if I club these alphabets? Nothing but a string. What is a string? A string is a finite sequence. It's a sequence of symbols taken from what these symbols is representing. It is representing an alphabet, right? So it is a string is a finite sequence of symbols taken from the alphabet. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm considering alphabet equals to ABCD. So whether CABCAD is a valid string, yeah guys, can you tell me? It is valid.
Yes, sir.
Reason for this because the string which is been formed with all the alphabets are based on this sigma. If I have given here, let us assume if I have considered the string like CABEBC, whether this string is a valid one.
No, sir.
Reason better.
No, sir.
Yeah, reason. What is the reason?
So E is not available in the alphabet set.
Very good. This is what the reason. If any of the character is not a part of the alphabet, it cannot be considered as a the particular string. Just like in your let us assume in your English, if I write say JCEBGM, I think this is one of the string which is formed with the alphabet from A to Z in English, right? It is a valid one. But if I write somewhere, maybe let us assume this, it is not a English word or English string because in English this is not the alphabet is there, right? I hope you people are understanding. So how the string is being formed? It is nothing but a finite sequence. I'm again putting point on the finite word. Okay, finite sequence of symbols taken from alphabet. Okay, if I have the alphabet and generally the as we have seen alphabets are represented with the summation in the same fashion your uh, strings are also represented with the W. If I write anything with the W, it will consider as a string. Just like here I have considered W equals to 010. This is a string. When I will be saying string, you can represent with the W. Or when I represent W, it means you have to understand string. Now, if I have a string 010, the number of string or instead of I'll say here length of the string. Okay, so now what is the length of this string? If I consider 010 is one of my string for let us assume I will say for alphabets, say for alphabets I will simply do one thing. I'll say here I will say for alphabets. Yes, 0, comma 1. Is it a valid string? First of all, this is a valid string.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The length of this string. What is the length of this string? This string w equals to 010. Not getting? No issues.
Three.
Very good. If I given you the string in English, just like maybe just like your string length function, if you are strlen, you are aware of. If I given the like this Jane BGM, okay, and I used to ask if this is my string and if you apply as strlen function, what is the answer you used to get? So you used to say, sir, it calculates the length of the string, nothing but number of characters or number of alphabets in the string. Here is how much? 4 plus 3, 7. You used to say, sir, its length is 7, right? In this same fashion, if it is a valid string, if it is a valid string for this alphabet, what is the length? It is 3. And to represent length of the string, see, string is represented with what symbol, guys? String is represented with what symbol? As your alphabets are represented with the summation, string is represented with what?
W.
W. So length of the string generally represented with, this is a W, and you are simply supposed to consider it as this. आपका होता था ना मैथमेटिक्स में यूज टू यूज दिस ऑपरेटर, यहाँ पे निगेटिव का पॉजिटिव इजीली हो जाता था. Okay, so we will be calling whenever I'll be saying length of the string, you will be implementing, this is the notation for mentioning the length of the string. Clear, guys? One by one, we are coming to the new notations that will be required to understand language. We have seen 2 to 3 different notation. First is for alphabets, we are using the summation. Next, for the string, we will be using W. Third, we are using summation of, that is your instead of summation, I will say for length of the string, we are using. That's it. Okay. I'll proceed with this. Let us just remove because okay, fine. Next, I'll talk about length of the string. We have already explained about this. Okay. Okay. Now, another important, actually, this is very important, clean star and positive star. The clean star. See, guys, uh, I think in this you are aware of this. Now, what is this star? The clean star, actually, it is represented like this. This is your notation for the alphabets. And star, what is this star? Okay, we'll be discussing. It is a unary operator on a set of symbols or string alphabets. Okay, that gives the infinite set of all possible strings. Infinite set of all possible strings, possible length over your alphabets, including, now what is this? What you used to call this in mathematics notation?
Lambda.
Lambda. Now what is this lambda? I'll explain you in the previous here, length of the string. Yeah, the concept is here. Length of it is the number of symbols present in the string, denoted by like this. Okay, if string s equals to cab, so length of the string is 6. Now it is very important, this part. If length of the string is 0, what do you mean by length of the string is 0? Null string. You have heard about the null string, right? Null string or empty string you used to call it as. Okay, so generally we are representing null string with either lambda, or what you used to call this as in mathematics?
Eps- Epsilon.
Epsilon. Very good. Either lambda or epsilon. So in the throughout this, I will be using epsilon to represent the empty string. What is the length of the empty string? It is a big cipher, a zero. Okay, length of the empty string is zero. So this lambda as well as epsilon are used to represent empty string. Now try to understand very important concept of clean star. What it is being asked to us, it is a unary operator of a set of symbols over or strings that gives the infinite set of all possible strings over length over alphabet, including what will be including this, it means
Null
including
set.
null
Empty
set.
string.
Very good. Including the null set. Okay. uh, Let us take an example. I directly come for this example. If I have alphabet equals to a and b, so what is the clean star for this possibility of a and b alphabet? It is nothing but, frankly speaking, it is all possible set of strings which can be formed over alphabet AB. That is what, in short, the description about the clean star. It is all possible strings which can be formed over the alphabet, whatever the alphabet is given, A and B. So, what all possible things are there? Say, generally, what you used to do with the length zero, कितने possible है? Only one, that is empty string. So, we can represent like lambda, or we can represent with epsilon. Then, with the length one, how many strings are possible with length one, guys?
Two string.
A or B, that's it, two. With length 2, A, BA, right? These are the four different strings possible. With the length 3, with length 4, with length 5, with length n number. That's why I'm using a word here, infinite. It is an infinite set of all strings. And how it is been defined? It represented like this, guys. Clean star is a combination of all the strings possible with length 0. Can you able to see this length 0? Union length 1. Union strings with the length 2. Union infinite. This is a clean star. It comes all the strings which are possible over the alphabets. Nothing but I must say, all the words formed in the English language can come in this. It's a clean star. Okay, now in this way there is another and important terminology which will be used in the coming days, that is your star plus closure, clean closure, and this is called as a star closure. I'll coming up with a positive plus closure. Now what is difference in this? I will not say much more, you can just understand this. Can you tell me what is the difference between the star closure and plus closure? This is the yeah, please. This is a representation for plus closure, and this is a representation for star closure.
It does not include
Convex
empty string,
It does not include.
empty string,
Very
null
good.
string.
Yeah, it should exclude the null string. In the previous one, it should have null string, as it is being called as a plus. This is a plus closure. Plus, say in the number system, if I give you, if I ask you, give me the all positive numbers, whether zero will be the plus number. No, certainly not. It will not consider as a positive number. We are considering only plus. So empty set or empty string will not be considered. So excluding to that, we will be getting plus closure. So the difference between, or I can say, the plus closure is nothing but the star closure minus empty. If you are going for the gate examination, such kind of question may asked. Okay. So example, if I given you the same example, you can see here there is no lambda or epsilon. Okay, class. As we will be implementing these things in the program, you will be understanding the concept more briefly in that. Now, an important is language. We are coming to the language now. To understand the language, first things are required is alphabets. We have learned strings. We have learned different operation on the strings that we have learned, that is star closure and plus closure. Now we are coming for the forming the language. Okay, alphabet strings अभी उनको proper तरीके से we need to mold them and put all the words together which forms a language, meaningful language, I must say. Okay, so language is, it is subset of, you can see a subset of, I said it is all the strings are possible over there. It is a subset of spleen closure for some alphabets. It can be finite or infinite. Languages can be finite or infinite. Uh, okay, so if it is say alphabets are there, then language, it is this. What is a language? It is actually accepting only length 2. All the possible strings are over A and B with length 2. This is the language. Okay, so I'll give the language. Set of strings of length 2. These are the finite language. Now if I ask you, set of all strings starts with A, can you give me over this A and B? A language 2 is been asked as set of all the strings with A starts with A. Can you tell me certain strings possible for this
A
language?
A A B.
Only this much? A A A A A B A B A B A B A B. It goes with infinite language. Yes or no? Is there any limitation? In the previous example, when I consider language 1, it is a set of string of length 2. Is there any other strings can be added in this?
No, sir.
It cannot be. So that's why it's so finite. But if I given this another language where set of all strings starts with A, I think there is no limitation. It will have a number of strings can be formed because there is no concept of the length. It can be length 1, it can be length 2, 3, and n number possibilities there. Okay. Huh? So this is how finite language and infinite language I'm introducing to you people. There are the two concepts of languages: finite language and infinite language. Okay. Yeah, I think for today's we'll be discussing this language hierarchy in the upcoming class, as well as the finite state machine, where I'll be discussing one C program, how it will be useful, and how the your finite state machine we are going to use will be seeing in the further class, as the time uh, asking us to stop here. So I think I should stop at this moment. Okay. Kindly those the students. If first let me know. Do you have any doubts in this? If you have doubts, please let me know right now.